Nation, what is going on? Coming to you guys live from SAHARA Las Vegas after this Raiders W.
Man.
It's getting normal to say right now. We're 3-0, Kenny King Jr. Welcome in my special guest co-host for this fabulous post-game show. Yeah. Kenny King, what's going on, man?
Man, this has been unreal. Like this 3-0 start, the Raiders coming out here just having heart attack games, doing what they do, and the offense doing what they're doing, but the defense is just coming out lights out. It's insane.
Yeah, that ugly 4th and 20 play, I'm absolutely trying to erase that out of my mind.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, they played well. I mean, going in late into the second part of the game, I mean, they'd only given up, 10 points?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a powerhouse offense that we were facing.
No.
But it's still a statement to be made. You know, kind of shutting out the Ravens, the Steelers, the Dolphins, who do have some playmakers.
These were all three teams that were 10-plus wins last year.
Yeah.
So these were all playoff teams last year. And when you look,
and we're the first team to ever do that, right? To go 3-0 with 10-plus wins the year before. First team ever.
History, that's
yeah.
Right.
I like that.
And the Raiders are the first time since 2002
Super Bowl year.
The Raiders went 3-0 to start the season.
Shout out to the chat. I see you guys in there. I see the Raiders. I see the 3-0, baby. I see everything going down. I want you guys to drop, as usual, where you guys are listening from. I want area codes, I want cities, I want states, I want countries. Raider Nation, I want to know where you guys are listening from. And shout out to you guys for tuning in and seeing what's going on over here in Las Vegas. Remember, anytime that you guys want to plan a trip to Las Vegas, keep Sahara in mind. Sahara is where we're going to be every single home game weekend. And if you go to their website or go to my website, RaiderCody.com/Sahara, you can use my promo code LVCody, get 20% off your rooms, $50 in resort credit, a 72-hour cancellation. You get a courtesy 1 p.m. late checkout because game time, right? Game time. Free parking always. And it's a 2-night minimum. So come through, hang out. Night before, we're doing a show pregame. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And then, of course, we're doing our postgame as soon as the game is over. And here we are.
Here I am.
It's becoming... it's almost like deja vu. After a Raiders win. It's a
good feeling.
It feels so good, man.
And it feels different than it did last year. Because last year, we started out with a hot start. The Raiders were, they did their thing for 6-4, and then they fell off. This doesn't feel like that same team. This defense is different. This defense is coming out here. They're stopping players. They're stopping offenses. They're getting what needs to be done. And then Derek Carr is just playing lights out football right now. I mean, the way that Derek is playing right now with the hair, with the beard, this is a different brand of Raiders football that a lot of Raider fans haven't been used to, but this is Raiders football right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenny King Jr. It's about that time. Obviously, this is a nice little soft introduction, but on to bigger and better things. Let's get in this game review, huh? You ready?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I mean, it wasn't the prettiest of starts. We started this game off with a 3-and-out, right? We had a bad connection to Ruggs, and we're seeing this a little bit. Obviously, with the offensive line quirks, there's still some things even with wide receivers not connecting necessarily on choice routes. Because just like what we saw later, we'll talk about it with Moreau, but sometimes wide receivers have options on whether they're going to fall off to the sideline, they're going to keep it going deep, they're going to sag off, come back towards the ball or not, and that's what we saw early on. 3-and-out punt, not very good. Miami defense gets in there and kind of just put a wrench in Gruden's plans.
Yeah.
So after that punt, our defense comes in and creates a ton of pressure, looking good. We talked about him. Then we force a punt. So starting off, okay, we got a little defensive battle, and that's kind of what I expected,
you feel
right?
Good about it.
Yeah, and that's what I was expecting. Kind of a low-scoring game. They have a good defense.
Of course.
Let's not get that let's not get that wrong. But now here's where things really took a turn. The Raiders' second possession. Renfro gets the ball. He gets moving. Renfro gets the ball. He gets moving. Edwards making plays. Derek and Foster aren't on the same page. That's why I think there might have been a choice route there, right? Derek was under pressure. I doubt that Foster just stopped running his route I don't really see that being a thing. Maybe he did. If he did, then that sucks.
Yeah.
Pick six.
It's it's one of those things where you want to fault the receiver for it, but at the same time, you don't know what happened, what went down. I'm not going to fault Foster on it because, yes, Foster did stop. It could have been a choice. It could have been, you look at zone, you see the guys stepping up and he's going to make a move. Derek throws the ball where he thinks that Foster's going to be, and it's a pick six. What frustrated me about that more than anything wasn't Foster stopping. It was the fact that there was no hustle to the ball after the interception. It was a 72-yard interception, and guys just were not moving to go after the guy. And so that was my biggest thing. And so, you look at that, those are things that you can build on. When you look at, the end of the game, obviously the Raiders won, so it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, it is a thing that needs to be corrected. Yeah,
well, then we get a chance to get the ball back, right, obviously, on that pick six. We get stuffed on fourth down, another turnover. Bam, then they flip around. Miami comes back. Our defense is making mistakes. Big 20-yard rushing touchdown. We're down 0-14 in the first quarter, Kenny King. In the first quarter. But what? There's no buts. But we're down 14 points.
Casey Hayward.
Yeah.
Coming up huge with a safety.
Yeah.
I mean, that play right there, it was textbook. I don't know. I think the Dolphins drew it up thinking that Casey wasn't going to step up or that there was not going to be a defender there, but Casey Hayward steps up, makes a huge play in their end zone, and gets a safety. It puts the Raiders with a two-point spot.
Yeah, I mean, it gave us hope. I mean, 2-14 still doesn't look good.
A little bit of hope, yeah.
2-14 still doesn't look good. We go into the second quarter. Henry Ruggs getting involved. Offensive line still struggling. Can we talk about? We need to get Andre James. He's had a lot of work this offseason. He's been doing good. And like I said, I hate to downplay this win right now, but let's be honest. The beginning of the game wasn't looking good for us. And we shouldn't have been in a position that we were in. So we got to discuss these things. And whether that's the entire offensive line as a whole, we're going to start even with Andre James. He's got to just dial in those shotgun snaps.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest things that I said was that Andre James is liability in the shotgun. And I hate to say it. I hate to get down on any Raider. I hate to get down on anybody playing the game. But Andre James' shotgun snaps were a liability. And we saw a couple that were really high. We saw a couple that caused Carr to fumble the snap. And we can't have that. And I think that's one of the things that in the 7 years that Carr was with, or in the 6 years that Carr was with Rodney Hudson, they had that continuity. They had that relationship. They had that conversation to where they were getting things done and they were able to have those snaps in line. There weren't that issue. And so, you get an offseason with Andre James. You hope that he has it, but he doesn't have it all the way. But it's week 3. It's against the Dolphins. You're facing a team that, could potentially put you to 3-0. Could potentially put you ahead of the AFC West, and you need to eliminate those minimal issues.
Yeah. So there's one drive that was right before halftime that really got the train rolling, and that was obviously when we started back at the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you got Henry Ruggs making big plays, man.
Yeah.
Darren Waller, big play. And that's what you want to see from our guys. Edwards, Ruggs, Waller. You want to see them making big plays. We get down inside the red zone. We're pushing across the goal line. Ball pops out. Ball squirts out. Alec Ingold comes in the clutch, right?
The guy.
You like your fullbacks.
That's my guy, you know what I'm saying? Me, as a disciple, as the son of a fullback, to see Alec Ingold come in and grab that with a heads-up play, it was huge, and it kept the drive going. Yeah. And I think that honestly, right there was the momentum changer in the game.
Yeah.
I think that shifted the whole momentum in the game. It could put the Raiders in position to get in a spot where they can say, you know what, we can put this game away if we just buckle down and do what we need to do. And Alec Ingold put them in a position. And
then he scored. He he deserved it.
Exactly.
He totally deserved it.
He was rewarded for it.
Yeah, so. He totally earned that one. Right? So then, obviously, they get down again to have a chance to score or put points on the board with a field goal. And my guy, whoever that was sitting back there in the chair, right before he kicked it, says, wide right.
Yes.
Wide right.
Yes.
Went wide right off the goalpost. Perfect. So we go to halftime, down 12-14. But 12-14 is easy money.
That's nothing.
Easy money.
Hey, at this point in the season, at this point with this Raiders team, it's not something to stress about. 2020, we would have stressed.
Yeah.
We would have stressed last year. this team, this Raiders team, we're not going to stress about 14-12.
Yeah, I agree. And we made light work of that coming out of the second half too.
Yeah, man.
Because honestly, our defense was looking on fire right out of halftime.
Yeah.
Swarming, Abram was all over the place. Merrick was out there. Our DBs, man, I feel bad. But, Brissett let that thing sail a few times.
Yeah.
And our DBs are out there just going for it, man, just laying it all out there. Unfortunately, that's something that we're going to be tracking now this week is Mullen, Merrick.
Yeah.
I mean, Hobbs is going to be a little shaken up.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much everybody. Casey Hayward.
Guys were flying around. Guys were, they were getting a little shooken up. But I think this team, I mean, these guys they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
Merrick got shaken up. He came back. Mullen got shaken up. He came back. These guys want to play. And hopefully the injuries aren't too bad because we're going to need them against the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not even just them. So, I mean, we even had Henry Ruggs we got to keep an eye out on.
Yeah.
That looked almost like a concussion, but I hope not, obviously. I mean, he's back in the game, so that was good.
Right.
But I'm sure he's going to be a little shaken up. He'll probably be a little limited this week, just kind of getting healthy. Zay Jones had because obviously our defense came out hot on half, but so did our offense. Yeah. Zay Jones comes in with a little option route to the outside, big gain, and that ended with Hunter Renfrow, touchdown.
Two.
Leave it to Hunter to not only convert on third downs, but to convert and flip that scoreboard over on us.
One of the things that I heard on the broadcast today was second and Renfrow.
Okay.
It's not just third and Renfrow anymore. It's second and Renfrow. It's the man is a slot machine.
Yeah.
And no better place for him to be a slot machine than Las Vegas.
Yeah.
For Hunter Renfrow to come out and to be that guy, to be one of the top slots in this league. Yes, I'm going to say it. Hunter Renfrow is one of the top slots in this league. He is dependable. He is fast. He is shifty. He is nasty. And guess what? When you need a big play, go to Hunter.
Go to Hunter.
Go to Hunter.
I love it. I love it. Nate Hobbs is a guy that I am amazed with how well he can tackle. Dude, he wraps him up, and that's kind of where I think his injury kind of kicked in. Got yanked a little bit. Dude can wrap up like no other. I mean, for what we got him at, the value we got him at, that is the slot corner that we've been looking for now for 4 years. And we nailed him, what, the fourth round? Fifth round?
Fourth round.
Fourth round. Wow.
We were excited about this when we did the draft party.
There's something about the name, like Nate Hobbs.
I mean,
Hobbs.
He sounds like a player. He looks like a player. And when he gets on the field, he is a player.
He is a player.
I mean, that's the guy that you want. And, you got praise from KJ Wright. You got praise from KJ Wright's mom. You got praise from Denzel Perryman. You got praise from Gus Bradley. Nate Hobbs is getting praise from everyone around the organization.
Yeah.
Fan base, everybody. This guy has come out. He lit it up during the preseason. He's lighting it up during the season. He's not one of those flash-in-the-pan guys that, has a great preseason and says, you know what? I'm not that good of a player. He's a guy that is an actual football player.
Yeah.
And he is a baller. And I'll tell you this right now. Mike Mayock has done a really good job with fourth rounders.
Yeah.
You look at Nate Hobbs. You look at Max Crosby. I mean, these guys are just balling right now.
Absolutely. Let's go. I see. I spam some Hobbs in the chat. I see you guys in there. You know who really started to step up towards the end of the game, and it's something that we've been struggling with for a few weeks now, not just without Josh Jacobs, but the run game. So Peyton Barber comes in, man, and starts making some moves.
Yeah.
And that's not just, I'm not going to say that's all Peyton Barber, but he was getting some space created finally by this offensive line. He stepped up, and he got a lot of things rolling, even at the end of the game, even in overtime, breaking off some big runs. So I definitely want to give a shout-out to Peyton Barber because he just got called up, too. He really shouldn't have been.
Peyton Barber was in. It was Regas that got called up.
Oh, Regas. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Barber, but looking at Barber, like early in the game, it was one of those things like, why is Barber still in? Why are people giving Barber the ball?
Yeah.
Drake wasn't doing too much, and then all of a sudden in the second half, Barber just turns it up.
Yeah.
And when it mattered, Barber had just worn down the defense to where it was like
he even had the goal line dive like Josh Jacobs.
And that's what I said. I said, we need Josh here.
Yeah.
We need Josh to get over the goal line. And then Barber came in, and he jumped over, and it was like, okay, cool. We got this guy that can do this.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I've been talking about, one of the things I've been preaching about is the next man up mentality with the Raiders.
Yeah.
It's, it's next man up at running backs, next man up at linebackers, next man up at defensive line. These guys are coming in, they're stepping in, and they're filling these spots. And yes, Peyton Barber may not fill the spot the way that Josh Jacobs would.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to replace Josh Jacobs. But Peyton Barber did his job, and he did it well.
Yeah, people back here are getting excited. Raider fans, we're getting pretty fired up over here at the Casbar this weekend. You guys definitely don't want to miss out on the action. If you guys aren't going to the game, you can watch it here. Make sure you catch the pregame and postgame shows. How about that roughing the passer penalty on Max?
Do you want me to use my inside voice or my outside
Inside voice.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, that was a horrible call.
Not only just that, but there was holding on probably Max and Yannick.
Max got held, Yannick got held. And then Max, I mean, the roughing was Max had taken a step.
Yeah, he lunged into the tackle
He
already.
couldn't move.
Yeah.
Like, there was nowhere for Max to go. So it was a ticky-tack call. There was a lot that were called.
Yeah.
And luckily, a couple went our way, a lot went their way.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it's frustrating because the Raiders are always on the bad side of those calls.
Oh, it definitely was frustrating because it seemed like the defense got fired up after that because the defense came out and they stuffed them on fourth down. But then we came out and, I mean, it just wasn't – our defense came out and it just – the end of that game for them just didn't go as planned. The end of the fourth quarter. The blitzing safety that broke through free right down the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah.
The deep ball that went out and got, like, our entire secondary hurt on one play.
Yeah.
Very rough. And, of course, that resulted in the defensive pass interference,
You know,
right?
Luckily, they didn't have Arden Key playing for us.
The almost sack. Yeah, we didn't. Fortunately, we didn't need him on that play. We had another guy that, was, I guess, going to get the penalty.
I mean, Damon Arnett did blow his coverage again. So
Yeah.
that's
It was kind of frustrating, too, because at the end of the game, with the clock running the way that it was,
yeah.
there should have been no reason that they had the time to be able to run that last play where Brissett was able to get into the end zone. And not just not have time, but it just shouldn't have happened. We should have been, focused more defensively, and you can tell that they weren't aware. Even after that third down stop, no timeouts. They stopped them in the field of play. The clock was going to keep running, and guys are kind of just like moseying around. And all of a sudden, the offense is getting set up, and they're kind of like, oh,
There's football.
I guess we got to run a play right now.
Yeah.
So I think that was just lack of awareness on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
That caused that touchdown. And, I mean, how do you really call a play that quick anyways? So they're probably just out there doing whatever they
can to get the defense off the toes,
Yeah, so we go into overtime. Alec Ingold, can I just go ahead and say that he is the best coin flipper in the NFL right now?
I mean, I love my guy Alec Ingold, man. I'm going to give Alec Ingold every single ounce of love that I can because that guy,
Yeah.
he deserves it.
Yeah, he won a coin toss again for us.
Yeah.
And that resulted in our two guys stepping up. Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards. Big catch after big catch. Brian Edwards, probably the best wide receiver in overtime this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, the Raiders are in overtime way too much already this year. But obviously coming in clutch. Bad set of pass plays. We go and we kick a field goal. Miami gets a chance. They get the ball. Max Crosby comes in with some good pressure. Almost forces like a sack fumble on him.
Yeah.
Mullen has a huge pass breakup down the field on 3rd and 20, then 4th and 20. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
20 happens.
We're not going to talk about it. Jasicki gets free.
But we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it happened.
I know. Even as good as our defense has been, it's like it's frustrating to.
Damon Arnett. I'm sorry. It's 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And we talk about, they talk about throughout the league how Damon Arnett fell down the depth chart.
Yeah.
This is why. These mental mistakes in overtime on 4th and 20 that you're coming in and you're allowing 4 and 20.
Yeah.
You're allowing a first down to happen.
Yeah.
These things cannot happen. I granted, it's your second year, but still.
Yeah.
You should know by now. You've been in enough practice. You've been in enough games. You've been in enough situations. You cannot let this happen.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Raiders won.
And luckily, we got a big stop at the end of that drive.
Exactly.
Even on the 4th and 20, we were able to stop momentum and force them into a field goal. So then we got another chance. And who comes through again? Edwards.
Yeah.
Big play. And that's all it took was just, Peyton Barber again has a good run up the sideline.
If you remember, I said Brian Edwards is going to have a big year this year.
Yeah.
I said Brian Edwards and Foster Moreau. Now, honestly, they're doing great.
Yeah. So you can tell they're just trying to hide them a little bit too, through the off season.
Yeah.
That's why they weren't talked about enough. It's like, why would they though?
Exactly.
You got to save them for these big moments like this, because then you're looking for Darren Waller. That's the easy one, right? So obviously Carr, he finishes with 386 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ugly interception, but only 1 interception so far. Peyton Barber comes through with 111 rushing yards, if I can talk right, yards. Brian Edwards finishing with 89 yards, number 89 with 89 yards. Henry Ruggs 78 yards. Hunter Renfrow 77 yards. Waller 54 yards. That's a lot of receiving yards spread out pretty evenly.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 receptions, 4, 5, 5, 3, 3. Lots of different receivers there for Derek Carr to go to work on, and it paid off pretty well for this offense, because that's our bread and butter, is spreading the ball around and making it even. But with that being said, we need to get into the next portion of our show, and that's going to be our lights out player of the game. Hope you got your guy ready. I kind of don't. Kind of do. See how it goes. I can't pick one, dude. I'm going with both Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards. Both of them. Because they both stepped up and made big boy catches whenever they needed to. Especially Brian Edwards, dude. In overtime, you got to give it to him. Henry Ruggs going up 50-50 balls like he's Terrell Owens, like he's Randy Moss over there. I mean, just going up, toe tapping. I mean, dude had great sideline awareness. Both these guys stepped up for DC whenever we needed them. It's to the point to where I love what Derek's doing whenever it's time to get clutch, but these wide receivers are being clutch. Absolutely clutch, and you can't ask anything else out of these guys. Last year, we were deemed probably the worst wide receiver group in the NFL, at least, bottom 5 for sure.
Yeah.
And this year, I don't really care what we look like on paper. I want to see what our wide receivers look like whenever it counts.
Yep.
And they're coming through whenever it counts. When it's overtime, when the game's on the line, when it's 3rd down, when you got to get points on the board, when you got to move the chains, our guys are coming up with big-time catches. DC is trusting them to get a 50-50 ball. Guess what? They're getting that 50-50 ball. It's not even a 50-50 ball at this point. If there's one-on-one,
it's 70-30.
Oh, it's 90-10 at this point. I mean, I'm confident. I am super confident. Yeah. Unless you're all over our guy, unless there should have been a flag thrown, because there won't be. There won't be a flag thrown. That ain't gonna happen.
Of course
not with that sticker on the side of their helmet. That ain't gonna happen. But if they have a real chance at a 50-50 ball, these two guys are stepping up big. Henry Ruggs, I am super pumped on this guy, putting on some weight this offseason and coming through. Whoever wore a Henry Ruggs jersey to the stadium tonight should have been absolutely proud. They should have been throwing that jersey up every time he went up there and said, look, I might be around 6'1" or whatever, 6'2", but I'm playing like I'm 6'8". Yeah. I'm out there like I'm Randy Moss. I don't care. Brian Edwards, he's shutting them down. Again, another late rounder coming through big for us.
My God.
Kenny King, who's your lights out player of the game?
I got 2. Now I'm going to the other side of the ball. I got Carl Nassib and I got Max Crosby.
Okay.
Those boys came to work.
Yeah, they had a lot of push.
Look, they had a lot of push. They had a lot of pressure. And look, they were not going to let the Dolphins win.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, Carl Nassib just lighting it up. They were getting sacks. They were making moves. They were getting the linebacker. They were getting past the second line. They were getting the running backs. They were getting everybody, and they were just doing everything they needed to do to get that game win.
Absolutely. Guys in the chat, I want you to get active. I want you to drop some questions in the chat. Drop some questions in there. Let's discuss the rest of this game, see what we can get going here. At some point, we might be doing a podcast recording later whenever Murph shows back up. We'll see what's going on here. We'll see what's going on. Drop in there. I want to hear it. I want to hear Raider Nation's thoughts. Drop your concerns. Obviously, it was a win. It's just win, baby. But there's still.
Can we talk about the Chiefs being in last place right now?
Yeah, we can.
We
absolutely can.
I never root for the Chargers, but when I do, it's when the Chiefs go in
But
the
when
last
I
place.
do, that's all that matters. Oh man! Finally, the Chargers didn't charge her. Finally.
Because they have been charging for the first couple games.
Does anybody want to talk about Patrick Mahomes with a clutch interception?
Oh, he's so clutch. He's so good. Somebody said that he was the best quarterback to step on the field in the past 15 years.
He's overrated for sure.
He's overrated.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback. I'm not saying that he's a top 5 quarterback. But I'm saying right now that he is overrated.
Yeah.
And he's beatable. He's been proven that he's beatable. He got beat today. He got beat in the Super Bowl. He got beat by the Raiders. He got beat by the Raiders twice, really.
Yeah.
Luckily, they got lucky with Travis Kelce in the end zone when it was a blown coverage.
Nicholas Lawson says, how many yards is Carr going to pass for this year? 4,500.
Nah, I'm going to say 5.
Oh!
5,000 yards.
I like it. Bold. Jose says, do you think John Gruden's play calling was horrible?
Yes. Parts of it.
I would say it was just too conservative. And I talked about it last night that he'll get to his point where he can he'll put his foot on your neck, but he'll take it off as soon as he feels like you tapped out. Don't let him tap.
He's like a big brother that feels bad for the soft little brother.
Yeah, there's no tap outs.
It's like, dude,
there's no tap outs.
Just go for the juggler. Don't just put your foot on the neck. Go for the juggler. Yeah. Choke them out.
When they
put
pass
them out
out
of the game.
Yeah. Stop when they pass out.
If they die, they die.
Yeah, I was definitely looking. There's a chance, especially. I mean, we got 8 points on them, and had a chance to at least just move the ball down enough to kick a field goal. Make it a clear 2-score game. We shouldn't have been fiddling around with 8 points for that long.
Not at all.
And I get like we had our chances with our run game, but I get so sick of every time that we have a decent lead. It's every drive or every set of downs starts with a run.
Yeah.
Run, and then we get stuck in like a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. And obviously we're going to throw it right to the chains because we're not going to go big. Right. You know what I mean? So that part of the offense for me gets frustrating. And I wish at some point we just let it rip. I mean, whenever we need a big pass and can get the big pass, why can't we do it whenever they least expect it, right? Obviously, when we're in these big situations and we need to move down the field, when we have 2 minutes left on the clock, obviously we're going big, and we can make that happen.
I think the other thing is just put the ball in Carr's hands and let him do what he does best. When Carr doesn't have to worry about changing up, running the ball, he can just throw the ball and just have fun. And that's where the Raiders have had success.
I see everybody in here is talking about John Gruden's play calling. Who would you say was the MVP of the game, Carr or Max? I feel like the paper MVP is going to be Derek just because everything shows real easy. The presence of Max is real hard to it's not going to show up on the stat sheet. You know what I mean? What he did is the issue.
Hunter.
Ooh, Hunter.
Hunter came up huge.
Okay.
And Hunter saved a lot of drives.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna put it on Hunter.
Most valuable.
I think Hunter was the most valuable player of the game.
Yeah. Good to see Daniel Carlson too coming away with another.
Carlson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money, baby.
Extra point. We'll give it a hiccup.
Yeah.
We'll give him a free pass. He can't do no wrong.
Hey, it worked out. If we had lost that game, people would be calling for his head, but we won the game. So.
Yeah. Chiefs. I see Crash Burn in there. Chiefs 1 and 2. I love that. So they're last place in the division now.
Last place in the division.
Isn't that great?
Feels good, don't it?
Now I know why the Schwartz brothers are so mad at me because they probably saw this coming.
Oh, I can't wait for Jeff to block me.
Oh, that's his name, Jeff. I always think like Geoff.
No, it's Geoff.
Geoff.
Or Geoff. Mitchell already blocked me. Mitchell, is he working yet?
Who?
Mitchell, is he have a job?
Who?
Is he still out of the league?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Cares.
Yeah. Max's son.
Oh, man.
See, this is why people hate you, Cody.
Yeah, so Gold says, yeah, I'm so glad I wore the Renfro jersey today. Nicholas says, Gruden called good plays. It's the O-line execution that comes up short in the run game.
O-line
Killed it in the second half, though.
O-line is
Tom
suspect.
Cable's the best. So Tom Cable, I would say, came through and made some good adjustments in the second half.
O-line is suspect, and I think that, we talked about this in Andre James. His snaps have to get better. Offensive line, pass blocking has to get better. I think that, there's a lot that still needs to be built upon. But second half, they did come back, they come together, and they were able to put some things together. So those are things that I build upon, that you look at and you say, okay, this is something that we can say, okay, it's getting better, but it has to get better. When you face good teams, and granted, the Raiders have faced 3 good teams.
Yeah.
They faced 3 playoff teams. They faced 3 teams that won 10 games or more last year. So they're doing something right. But what I want to see now is when the Raiders play a game that they're supposed to win, because this was a game that they were supposed to win.
Yeah.
You've got Jacoby Brissett playing quarterback. You got Tua out. You got guys that aren't supposed to be in the game that are in the game. These are the games that you're supposed to win. I want to see the Raiders go into these games and win these games handily.
Yeah.
Don't take it to overtime. Don't take it to the last seconds. Win these games handily. Do not give Raider Nation a heart attack.
Jason says Leatherwood wasn't a constant false start penalty. That's an improvement.
I mean, if that's what we're gauging improvements off of, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was like a must-do thing.
Exactly.
Must
that's a
fix
do
that.
your job.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I say about Bill Belichick is that he has a very simple philosophy: is do your job.
Yeah.
And that's what the Raiders need to do: is do your job.
Yeah.
Do not jump off sides. Do not have a false start. Do not make stupid penalties.
Yeah.
So yes, Leatherwood, great. You didn't have a false start. That's your job. Do your job.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're going to wrap the show up here pretty soon. If anybody else wants to drop any questions in there, any comments on the game, we're going to cover them here right now. Supposed to win doesn't exist in the NFL. You know better, Kenny. No, it does. It does.
Who knows better?
It does. I think it does.
Who said that?
You know better. That was cut it out.
You need to cut it.
Telling you. I think it does. I think it does. And that's where I think we fall, suspect of the trap game thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get that. But no, there's games that you're supposed to win.
You can't have a trap game a week.
That's when you. That's why people go through the schedule and you make your predictions and you pick out all those games of W's.
Yep.
Those are the supposed to win games in your mind, right?
I saw this funny meme the other day by not Joe Flacco, and he said it was a picture of Urban Meyer, and it said when you look for the cupcake on your schedule, and you realize that you're the cupcake.
Oh.
If anybody gets beat by the Jaguars, that's supposed to win. The Jaguars are supposed to win. So if you get beat by the Jaguars, that's a trap game.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not supposed to win. You
Supposed
need
to win.
cut it.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Got a couple comments here. One is obviously a big transition for us that we needed momentum shift.
Yeah.
We downed that punt on the 2-yard line, got a safety on the next play. That was huge. That was big on defense. Another defensive little brag here. Corey Sanford says, biggest difference in this game is they didn't give up after the 4th and 20 conversion. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
They stuck with it. They didn't just let it just take the wind out of their sails, because they had a big stop after that. Unfortunately, the 4th and 20 happened, but they did hold them. It happened. What do you think of Ngakwe's play this game?
I thought he played well.
I feel like he was there. I feel like he made some push.
He was disruptive.
That's another thing, like when we talk about it, it's just not – it's stuff that it's not going to show up on the stat sheet. He was there. He made a presence. He contained.
And I think that if you watch the All-22, then you can get a better understanding of what Ngakwe was doing, because I didn't watch him personally a lot, so I don't know if he was getting double-teamed or if he was getting chipped a lot, but I can tell you right now that he was in every play.
Yeah.
Like when Max was there, he was there. And so it's going to be interesting to see where he was at during the game, because there's a lot that we don't see when we just watch the game and say, oh, Ngakwe didn't get the sacks, he wasn't there. But he could have been chipped. He could have been put in double teams. He could have been put in situations where he just wasn't able to be there.
Yeah.
And so once I watch the All-22, once I watch the film, then I can get a better feeling of it. I will tell you that the guy that apparently was supposed to start over him, he didn't play well. And I hate to say it because
he's gotten bigger, but almost like it's not healthy for him.
It's not healthy, and I'm a huge Clelin Ferrell fan. I was big on Ferrell, and I thought that Ferrell was going to be that guy. I thought Ferrell was going to be a starting end, and I'm sorry, when you're the 4th overall pick, when you are the guy that was supposed to be a starting defensive end, and now you're an afterthought in the league.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, and I can't support it anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to Alan Walton in the chat. Appreciate the $5 donation. He says, watching that game gave me a heart attack. Same.
I had 3.
Same. Yeah. Every game.
Yeah.
Every game. He says, and I think Carr needs to stop overthrowing the ball in important possessions. I see. I know. I remember the one overthrow, the deep ball, the deep overthrow to Ruggs.
Yeah.
He took a big risk, big throw, way down the field, almost pretty much into the end zone. Those are going to happen. He's pretty much been the most accurate deep ball passer, I'd say, since he's almost been in the NFL, or at least for sure the last 3 years. He's been a very accurate deep ball passer. He takes those shots calculated. And this year he's been absolutely phenomenal, I think, in that sense. But yeah, I mean, overthrows do get frustrating, Alan, so I understand what you're saying there. But I think dude's dialed in. I think Derek, whenever it's an important possession, I think he's saddled up and delivered.
I'll take 2 or 3 overthrows if we're 3-0 over. I mean,
shout out to Robert in the chat real quick. Today's game was sponsored by Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, and yelling at the TV. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Drop an Alka-Seltzer in the Red Bull and keep it trucking. Oh, man. Don't read that crap, Cody. That's funny. I'm sure you covered it already, but how loud was the Raiders crowd in Las Vegas today? Actually, we haven't talked about it, Crash Burn. That home field advantage is coming through. And that's something I can't wait to start rubbing in the faces of other fan bases that have been telling us, like, oh, it's Las Vegas. You just lost the home field advantage. Oh, this is a destination point. Yeah, there's going to be fans that show up. They do it every game.
I saw somebody post on Instagram. They made it a point to post out every single fan from another team that was at the game. Now, if you do a Where's Waldo and you decide to do that and do a search of every fan from it, you're going to find that at any stadium.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, from the reports that I was reading, from the comments that I was seeing, it was like 80-20 Raiders, which is huge.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you could tell on the defensive ball, Raider Nation was loud.
Yeah.
Raider Nation was proud. Raider Nation was getting after it. They were getting fired up.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot different also than from week 1, from Monday Night Football, where you had more people yelling during the offensive possessions.
I think they're just so excited to be back in the stadium. And I get it.
There's also a lot of new fans. There's also a lot of people that have never been to a game.
Yeah.
I was at the game on Monday Night Football. There were people that have never been to a game. And they're yelling. I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do this here. Like, don't do that. But I think you got to remember, this is a new town to sports. They've only had a hockey team for 4 or 5 years? They've got a football team now. They're going to get a baseball team. They're going to get a basketball team.
Yeah.
And so to have football out here, to have the Raiders out here, you got to learn from the fans. And luckily, there's a lot of great Raider fans that will teach you the game. They will teach the fans the game. Raider fans aren't what everybody thinks they are. It's the meanest people out there, the badasses and all these thugs and everything like that. Raider fans, they'll teach you the game of football if you want to learn.
Yeah.
And so I think the crowd is going to be fine. As long as we keep winning, I think the crowd is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I agree. Vegas, baby. Come on, you can't give a destination spot like that to Raider Nation. Dude, we as much as we go all out for our tailgates, all the effort that we put in, you're going to tell me we won't catch a quick trip to Vegas and hang out, eat some of the best food that you can find in the country, and just chill?
What's better than this? I mean,
man,
we're over here.
Food.
We're over here at the Sahara right now.
I'm about to go get some fish tacos over here from Uno Mas.
I mean, come on.
Oh, craving some fish tacos. Tell you that much.
Hang out at the pool, watch football on the huge screen out there.
The outdoor pool is where it's at. You guys got to get down here to SAHARA Las Vegas. Again, it's RaiderCody.com/SAHARA on their website. Promo code LVCody. Even if you're not staying here, even if you have something booked, come through and hang out with us. We're here all weekend. Hit my DMs. Let me know you're coming. We'll be hanging out. Trying to catch up on comments here. You guys are dropping a lot of opinions, a lot of questions. Raider Nation 24 says, I feel like we need to find a true lockdown corner in this next draft. I know the season just started, but we don't have a legit number 1 corner on this team, in my opinion. The number 1 corner debate is, I feel like, kind of the same as the number 1 wide receiver debate. And I feel like with where we're at now, Casey Hayward, I think, fills the void pretty well. Trayvon Mullen's playing great. I wouldn't oppose drafting another lengthy outside corner. To me, honestly, I feel like our biggest position of need going into this offseason now, for going to the offseason in week 3, would still be offensive line.
Yeah.
Draft some depth in the interior. Obviously we're hoping Leatherwood develops, maybe sign. It's to the point to where I think maybe even on offensive line, we look again at investing a little bit more into it. But we have a lot of contracts coming up, so we might just have to hope that these young guys develop and see where that goes.
And I think that's one of the moves that the Raiders decided to make, was that they knew that they have a lot of young first-rounders.
Yeah.
There's going to be some guys that probably don't get re-signed, but there's also guys that are probably going to get re-signed. And those are guys that we have to look at. Looking at the offensive line, you'd like to save some money. You want to have guys that can play, but at the same time, the question comes, where's Richie at? Where's Richie Incognito going to be in 3 weeks? So in 3 weeks, when he gets off of injured reserve, is he ready to play? because that's when it's really going to matter. When the Raiders are facing a playoff run.
If it's even 3 weeks, though, I think it might be longer.
And that's the problem is when you have a guy who's, 37 years old, he can play at a high level. His ability isn't the question. It's his ability to stay on the field.
Yeah.
And I love Richie. I hope that Richie is a guy that can play. But you have to ask yourself that question. He got hurt last year. He's hurt this year. You look at a guy like Trent Brown over in New England who he's played, 2 snaps since he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
And so, as you get older as an offensive lineman and as that lower body starts to deteriorate, it's very hard for you to come back from it.
Yeah.
You lost Denzel Good already. You have John Simpson who's coming in. You got Ellen Minor who's coming in. There's a lot of guys who are just, you want to see them progress and you want to see this trade work out. Like Gabe Jackson, I'm not that worried about, but Rodney Hudson. The missing of Rodney Hudson is a huge miss.
Yeah, I know.
I think just between the communication between him and Carr.
Yeah, I hate to admit that too.
I know.
Yeah, speaking of bouncing back from injuries, I hurt my knee about 10 years ago, and I still can't bounce back. I'm only 29. That justifies your age.
I've had 3 surgeries, and I'm like...
Hey, you're suited and booted today, huh? Got your Black Sunday?
Got this Black Sunday gear on here. I got my hat. I got my shirt.
Always. Make sure you guys check out BlackSundayShop.com. Producer Mike got the Black Sunday hat on as well.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys check them out. You always see me suited up in the Black Sunday gear all season long, and they're obviously selling their merch here on site at SAHARA Las Vegas. Mike D says it was subtle, but Ingold's fumble recovery on the 1-yard line was clutch.
That was not subtle.
It was like not. It was like, whoa. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
Just kind of squirted out of there.
That was an incredible heads-up play. Like that could have changed the momentum of the game, honestly.
Yeah. Ernest Garcia, what's up, Ernest? We have to be proud. 3-0, man. 3-0. I mean, what else can you ask for? We can talk about stuff all day long. We talk about the lows, talk about the improvements, talk about what we're already looking at for the next offseason. But it doesn't matter because we just won, baby. That's all that matters.
The first time since 2002, you were what, 5?
That's messed up. I was 10. I was 10. I just started, I rode my bike without training wheels, probably. Yeah, I just learned how to, okay. Are you done? Shout out to Francisco at the chat. Appreciate the donation. Week 4 expected players to return. Keyshawn Nixon, Javon White, Morrow, Richard. Gruden does not trust Derek Carr to put game away in 4th quarter. I wouldn't say that. I just think that John Gruden doesn't trust.
He doesn't trust Derek Carr to put the game away in 4th quarter. Derek Carr is just freaking leading the league in passing yards and in every other category, but he doesn't trust Derek Carr. Come on, man. Don't make me turn into Stephen A. Smith on you.
Shout out to Ernest. Put some respect on his name, DC. I'm looking forward to hopefully. Is Morrow going to be able to, you think, return this week? I mean, it's not expected to. It's that they're eligible to, so I wonder if that's going to.
I think they'll probably ease him in this week. He'll probably be back the following week.
Shout out to Adrian Cortez.
He might be back for the Bears.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But looking at the Bears, I mean, I don't want to look ahead of the Chargers, but looking at the Bears, I mean, Justin Fields 9 times sacked today.
Wow. I thought we could have got a little bit more pressure today, to be honest.
We could have.
I think we did good on some key downs, but I thought we could have did a little bit better.
I think
we didn't really send any blitzes either, though.
There was one that Jonathan Abram almost got home.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was
swung right around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't we do that a couple more times?
Yeah, but I think that they underestimated Jacoby Brissett's ability to run.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Adrian Cortez in the chat. Ruggs ain't no scrub.
He ain't no
You're
scrub.
right. He ain't no scrub. That's why he's one of my lights out player of the games.
Yeah.
Telling you, man, Ruggs.
Yeah.
There's something about him. That's the reason that they drafted him. Let's rewind. Obviously, right? Everyone's gonna keep talking about, should have took CeeDee Lamb. Should have took Amari Cooper 2.0. But we took Henry Ruggs, right? That was our dude. You know why? Because he had speed. But the main reason they took him was that he fought for 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
When it was a contested catch, he would get up there and go for it. In the first season, we didn't really see it. Obviously, he was hurt a lot. We saw it in the Chiefs game, going up, catching balls behind the defender, everything else. There was glimpses of it, but it wasn't consistent enough. This year, and especially this game, we're really seeing that he can be a consistent 50-50 ball go-getter, not just a if I'm even, I'm leaving guy, which he's proven to be that too. He's going to open the field up, but give him a one-on-one shot. You know what I mean? If Derek sees him, he's under pressure, wants to give him a chance, I feel like it's to the point to where Derek trusts him enough to give him a chance, and that's what I love about Henry Ruggs. And he ain't no scrub. You're right, Adrian.
He ain't no scrub.
Man. Raider Nation in L.A. There we go.
Because the Raiders run L.A.
Daniel almost read that comment. Not going to read that comment. Gruden is too conservative with the lead. Should have let Derek put it away. Gillespie is a beast. Barber came through low-key. Silent 13. Barber came through low-key. 111 rushing yards. It was low-key because it's not something that we're relying on or thinking we're going to rely on. And then as soon as it came down to it at the end of the game, those few big runs really took a lot of pressure off the offense.
Yeah.
Man, offense did have too many chances to put away. Should have never went to OT. Agree. Going to be 90-10 Raider fans at SoFi next weekend. Corey Sanford. It absolutely will be. It's cool how we get back to back to back. We get 3 in a row home games.
It's a nice little home game road trip.
Our vacation home.
Yeah.
It's our vacation home.
It's our home away from home.
Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody that came through last night for our pregame show. I appreciate everybody that came through for the watch party, all the Raider fans that came in. Let's go. Got some fans still sticking around. They're sticking it through the postgame show as well. Appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube. Appreciate my guy Kenny King Jr. for making the trip down here.
Appreciate you, man.
Because this show wouldn't happen, obviously, if I didn't have a special guest co-host. And who better to be my special guest co-host than the OG? This is the dude right here. From day one.
Well, from day 15.
Day 15. Close enough. They don't remember those days anyway. So shout out to everybody on YouTube again. Special thanks to SAHARA Las Vegas for making this happen. Black Sunday always selling their merch. Woodson Whiskey is behind the bar. So if you guys are looking to hang out with some Raider fans and enjoy a little bit of the Raider experience, whether you're going to the game or not, come through and check out SAHARA Las Vegas. RaiderCody.com/Sahara. Get that 20% off your room code. Get that $50 in resort credit. Get that 72-hour cancellation. Get that 1 p.m. courtesy late checkout. Free parking always.
Boom.
Book that 2-night stay. Get down here for a home game. We're here every single home game weekend. And shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders. 3-0. Raiders. Feels good.
It's a good feeling.
Feels good. YouTube. Until next time. Peace.